All right then. What's going on, y'all? This is BMOC. You're now tuned into BMOC.TV. Tonight, we're discussing More Life from Drake, man. They call him Drizzy Drake. I don't know if that's pause worthy or not. I don't know if I should call him that. So I'm not. Okay, I just call him, Drake Aubrey. You know what I'm saying? That boy from OBO. Shout out to this album, man. I got my Africa chain on. That has really nothing to do with anything. You know what I'm saying? Like the album really is African, so I don't. But I wonder where my cross colors hat is. The only thing close to my cross colors hat I had at my house. So that was
Drake is Jamaican, so it's quite.
I need a one nuts. So let's. I like the album, man. We're gonna talk about the album tonight. If you hate it, loved it, whatever, we'll get into it. But first, let's get to the greatest co-host around the planet. The Shyness Man, say something to the people, dog. What's up?
What's going on, world? I am fresh in from out of town. We had a family trip, so I ain't, I'm a little tired, but we about to get into this, man. I spent the trip and neglecting my family, listening to More Life, because I had to get it done for the deadline, But thank you for tuning in. We here, we keeping it tight. Shout out to, Donita, Tyra, all the regulars. We about to hold you down and get into this album, and y'all better view it.
Yeah, hopefully y'all out there, they've heard the album so far. You're gonna be out of the loop tomorrow when you go to work. The water cooler. They're gonna be talking about, Gal Chester, and you like, what are they talking about? So get on it. Drew, say what's up to the people, man. Say what's up.
I think I lost connection for a minute. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Say what's up to the people.
No, there we go. Hey, I don't want nothing to affect me getting some OVO 8s, some little Jordans. So I'm gonna play it close to the vest because I love the OVO 8s. So we're not ready to do it. Back at it. No better place to get your info on More Life than right here with us. So let's get into it.
Magic Jordan will try to jump him or something, by the gas station. You know what I mean? Look out for Magic. It's two guys. It's two guys. Pause. And Magic Jordan, man. So look out. They try to double team you. All right, so let's get into it. So Friday, the Rick Ross album dropped. Right? Oh, which is fire. You know what I'm saying? People get first before getting to Drake, I want to spend a couple minutes talking about Rick Ross. People give Rick Ross a hard time, man.
Yes, we do.
Okay, there's a lot of things that people say, okay, that I don't necessarily agree with. They say, he always thinks in character, he's never himself. He said he was a drug lord, but he was a CEO with the college played football. So, he signed a record deal like 3 years later. So how did you become this big crime boss? People say his subject matter is super limited. His vocabulary is not that great. That's pretty much the same thing all over again. If you heard 3 Rick Ross tracks, you've heard them all. An instrumental track was a jazzy track. He's talking about life, a trap joint, and another one that's featuring an R&B singer. And all those things may be true. But I think it's still fire. I'm sorry. I was a closet Rick Ross fan for like 2 years. But I was trying to figure out what I was trying to figure out, because the first time I heard Rick Ross, we went down to Miami, me and a few of my frat brothers for Spring Bling. This is 2006. Shout out to LeVar, Tyreek, Joppa, my frat brothers, 8x8. And Rick Ross had just came out, and so we had heard Port of Miami in Miami. So I was like, this is whatever. And I heard, I know the Noriega. And then the thing that side-eyed me the most was she said she's 22. She's seen him 22. So now we in room 22. I was like, whatever. Like, this is like, he robbed 22 3 times. Like,
the Atlantic line too on there.
Yeah, across Atlantic. It was like, whatever.
Yeah, now I'm on Atlantic.
Yeah, but you know what got me, what snuck up on me? It was the BMF record. That mixtape.
I forgot
the
everybody.
Mixtape got me with the MC Hammer joint, all those joints, and then the Diamonds on Everything, Give Livy Rashi put diamonds on. Something he said. Timing is everything, rhyming is everything. Give Livy Rashi put diamonds on. I'm like, oh, Rick Ross got a little rhyme pattern, little flow there. So his album came out. So I've been bumping Rick Ross, get that album, and then we were like, Drake's More Life album is probably not going to come out this week, because typically, new releases fall on Fridays. He dropped his on Saturday, a full project. We didn't know what it was going to be. We thought it was first going to be a compilation album. I thought it was going to be a compilation album of all of his artists on OVO.
Right.
Because once he said playlist, that was like, okay, well, there's a mixtape. It sounds like a compilation. So I expected maybe like, a Magic Jordan track, Roy Woods, Party Next Door songs, any new people, maybe even The Weeknd, they reunited. So, and it was really a brand new Drake album. it was like all new Drake stuff. It was like Drake, and more Drake. So I want to go around for real quick and just get your quick thoughts on when you first heard it, and even go song by song. I want to go on record and saying I think this album is better than Views. I think this album is almost head and shoulders over Views. I love Controller. Okay, I think Controller was the song of the year. I think Controller should have got the Grammy nomination. I voted for Controller 4 times. Okay, I should be mad. Y'all mad? Y'all mad over Beyonce? I'm mad over Controller. Okay, I try to fit him in the country category. I try to make an argument for best jazz vocal performance. I tried to fit him somewhere in there. Pause. But it didn't make it. Even One Dance didn't make it, which is kind of crazy to me. It's like one of the big songs here. So yeah. I like those records, and I wish he had more of those. And somebody from the OVO, I don't know, the Illuminati must have heard me, because they made an album of nothing but Controller records. It's Controller Remix, Controller Deluxe, Controller the Dance
Controller Light.
Controller Light, Controller the UK version. I'm like, this is great. I'm getting Controller mixed in with those records. So I enjoyed it. I'll go to the songs I like later as we go around the room. But I mean, I gave it, if this was a test, I would give it a 92. I give it 92. I think he could have cut maybe 2 or 3 songs. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's personally phenomenal. Okay, go to a record. Deshaun, when you first heard the album, man, what were your initial thoughts, man, about this?
The 3 of us, we're in sync a lot of times, and when we're out of sync, it scares me, right? So, Drew disowns me every time I speak ill of the Diplomats. And the 3 of us go back and forth about Dangerous being Michael Jackson's best album. I think it's far from it. So there are times when we are not having good, it's not a good relationship between the 3 of us. Pause. This is gonna have to be one of them times, because I don't hear it, man. I threw on More Life, and I heard both wings of the conversation, and I'm like all day, 2 times through, and I got to be very careful, because there are some sounds that aren't necessarily a part of my playlist that I'm trying to give a chance. I'm trying to hear good music, and I'm also tiptoeing because I was very critical of Views, which I still don't think is a good album. But Controller and Feel No Ways are fire. Like, them songs are ridiculous to me. They get played consistently, and then he threw in the Western Road Fills, the Views, and a couple of tracks like that. So I'm trying to tiptoe, even though I'm on 2 listens, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to grow as much as those tracks did, because even when I reviewed those initially, I was like, I don't like the way those flow with this album, but it's not a bad track. It was like 13 or 14 tracks going through this album before I heard something even perk my ear. And there's a couple of reasons why. One is because it feels really lazy. And I don't want to say that just because he's not going bar for bar, but because the simplicity of it isn't what I was looking for. And Drake's not this lyrical, miracle, spiritual person, and he's not even doing all rap. But even when it's like, you the 1, I'm the 2, you up, you down, I'm down, so what y'all gonna do? I'm like, I hear up, down, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, this is what people would be knocking Pac over the head for. And
that's that Snoop Dogg. That's that Snoop Dogg style. I'm 1 to the 2. I'm 4 to the 5.
Find East Coast rapper.
I'm sorry. This is the same rap pattern for the past 18 years, man. I'm sorry.
So what I'm trying to do is let's just be blunt about it. I don't like the album, but I'm also trying to be open to recently listening to a Drake interview and just hearing for this other sound that he's saying is in other regions I haven't been to that people are really going for, because I feel like people are embracing it. And I'm like, man, I'm not going to ride the wave, pause, but I don't want to miss out on good music if it's something just I'm not familiar with. So that was my initial thought, was it's not good. I don't want to just overreact like I did on certain tracks with Views. But the overall thing is, even the tracks that don't have the vibe I'm looking for is lazy. Like, he got some bounce. There's some tracks that got some hop to it, and then he come in lazy. And the worst verse in history of verses is that Young Thug verse.
Oh yeah,
He was trying to do double entendres, and it was just I don't understand what was going on there. So that was my initial thing. And when we come back around, I got some thoughts on Drake in particular and where he's at in his career.
Today, okay, the shots got some fire tonight, man. Okay, got that fire. I'll let you boy see that I fire. Y'all know about that juvenile out there, okay? Get on that, man. Down south rhythm. Drew, man, what's up? Fire rock the chat, by the way. I love the tan, man. It's fire. So Drew, tell me, what was your thoughts, man? What's up?
It's funny because if you know me, you know how I feel about Rick Ross and Drake. So getting both of their albums,
you had a bad weekend.
That killed my timeline on Twitter. Was like, oh my God, where's Nas and Jay to come save me from this world? Like, no, but this the thing. This is the thing. So a big conversation that people have been having is how fast people digest music, right? How fast we take it in and consume it, and how fast we come up whether it's a classic or if it's not good or whatever. And this is one thing with Drake, and he's always been tough for me to listen to, because there's a lot of his music that as soon as it comes on, I know I don't want to hear the rest of this. so
okay,
see, I don't know because it's still really new. I listened to it almost 2 full times, and so there's a couple of songs where soon as like the song with Party Next Door, I forgot the name of it. As soon as that song comes on, there's nothing about that says I'm not about to sit through this next 5 minutes, because I already know this ain't for me. I don't like the melody. I don't like the beat. This is just not something I want to hear. And and it's not about being so quick to whether say something's whack or say something's great. Right. But instantly if you go in the kitchen and you lift that pot up and the smell comes out, if there's something you want to eat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it could be collard greens. It could be collard greens.
Yeah.
Sometimes collard greens smells at first, but when you eat it's like, oh, I didn't know. So you never really know, man. It's like, like a box of chocolates. Paul, you never know.
Right. But that's when you try it. Now, how many albums is this on? What is it, Drake's sixth album?
Well, this isn't an album, it's a playlist.
Playlist, project, mixtape.
What is this?
It's
I don't know, man.
So now I know the flavors now. I know I don't like this. So it's like, there's a lot of songs like that where I just knew songs that came on, this ain't for me. When I think back, I think there's about 5 songs that I like. Okay, I like this. I like the Free Smoke. That was, that's good. The Guile Chester, however you
Guile Chester, Girl Chester. Come together. I like that. It was crazy. I like that song. Is crazy because it sounded better until Drake came on. Like, I like the girl when she was on. I like the vibe she had.
That's true.
You like Drake? Drake's like, you need to go to the store. I need you back. Bring me a pack of gum from. That's what he does every time.
See his voice when it comes on. I felt like DMX when he was on the Breakfast Club. Like,
I hate his haircut. I hate his shirt.
Yeah, like, I'm like, I don't want to hear this. And so, but one thing with Drake, and whether you like him or not, he moves the meter, and he moves the culture. So I'm at work. So yesterday, I was at work when it came out. And I could have been working a little harder, but I was listening to, this is coming out. I'm looking at my time. I was kind of slow at work. And so, I knew this, this was coming. And so I'm listening to it, and the call around the office, the buzz was, oh, this Drake is coming out. And it's very few artists, him, Beyonce, Jay, there's a very few artists that can really, when, they have a new project coming out, that's the talk. Yeah. And the moment that Complex or any of these other brands put out that this album's coming, people were on it, the buzz was in the air, and you have to, respect somebody who can get that kind of energy, because Drake definitely has that. So, and as a rap fan and a music fan, whether I'm a huge fan or not, you still want to know what's going on. You want to have your pulse on, what's going on. So I definitely checked it out, but it was just a lot of stuff. I'm just listening, skipping through it. Or not skipping through it, just listening to it. And it didn't hold me. Pause. I just didn't, you know.
Okay, so so let's get into it. Shout out to everybody saying they can't see you, Drew. We can see you fine up here, so I don't know. And you can't see Drew. His camera's working because he has a tan Rock Nation hat on. I'm not trolling y'all. So just listen close. If you can't see him, listen close.
The great boy. Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out. This is fire. So yeah, I feel what you guys are saying. I didn't realize I would be the only person that liked the album. All right, so I like the album. Okay, and I'll tell you why I like the album. I think we mentioned this the last time Drake's album came out. It may have been Views, where I mentioned about rap is so exhausting. Okay, I'm not even a rapper, and I'm exhausted by it. Okay, because here's why. And obviously, rap is like my favorite genre. Rap is so competitive that every bar, every line, every flow, it's like you have to compete with millions of people, from Jay-Z to the person in their bedroom making hot fire, right? So when you've had in an oversaturated market where literally you could be the best lyrical miracle MC, you could be a Crooked Eye and nobody cares and you're dope, or you could be Young Thug sneezing and coughing through auto-tune and you're that. So it's hard. It's like, what do you do if I become more lyrical? I get pushed to the side. If I just spit out some whatever, blah 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 blah. I could make a lot of money. So it's tough. What do you do? I want to be dope. I want y'all to love me like y'all love pop. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be fire. But in 2017, being lyrical necessarily isn't fire. So if you're Drake and you literally had to work your way through, being Degrassi and work your way through doing the shows in Houston and nobody went out to, you know what I'm saying? You're Canadian, but you talk like you're Irish. You know what I'm saying? Like what are you? He's rapping hard. He's like, yeah, that my last project I just did. I just studio and I just me and 40 and so you get through all of that. You finally then you get signed to Wayne, who you're like Wayne casts a shadow over everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You finally become as big as Wayne, bigger than Wayne, which is crazy if you think about it. So what do? Do you say, okay, well, I'm on top of this hill from doing my rap same thing. This is my lane that I created because I can't just rap. I'm not gonna be able to, out rap this guy. I can't out sing Trey songs. So I'm gonna try to find my lane.
Yeah.
I finally used that. Right, exactly. I finally used that. I get to the top of the mountain. Do I still compete? Do I still want to rapidly rap? Or do I want to say, now that I'm here, I don't want to race anymore. I don't want to compete anymore. Let me just create something entirely different that none of y'all can compete with me with. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to big homie these other sounds that y'all not seeing. So I think more life is that. I think Views, he was kind of playing with it. Let me just see how my little island thing works. I'm from Toronto. I got family, got friends. They're Caribbean, Jamaican, all that stuff. Let me see if I can play with the sound. And it ended up being one of the biggest records he's had in the past few years. With Hotline Bling was like the tester. And then one dance he just went. Yeah, well, hold on. And the one dance he went with WizKid and getting the Afro beat. And the controller, he went straight out poppy. You know what I'm saying? He went island poppy. You know what I'm saying? So for this album, it was brilliant. And the thing that's the most brilliant thing about it, he took a common theme between Toronto, a bubbling faction that he helped create, and London, that's been doing that thing since I don't know how long. I mean, a lot of American artists, from the Jay-Z's, from the Ja Rules, these people before they came to the States, they had to test their market out in UK. UK was the breeding ground it was the original melting pot. So you'll hear Jay talk about him and Irv Gotti and them having to record the album over in the UK and all that stuff. So but that rap sound hasn't been mainstream in America. So he said, okay, well, there's a lot of island, a lot of the Black British people in London. A lot of them come from Jamaica. A lot of them come from Africa. A lot of them come from those areas, down there. So he's like, let me just take that theme with those same people who are in Toronto and let me connect it. So you got this cat doing songs with Gigs. Gigs is like, it's huge over there. He's like who's bigger here? He's like I don't know. He's at Kendrick. He was at Kendrick. He's whatever. Gigs is fire over there. He has him on 2 songs. He has Skepta, who is like the unsung hero of the UK, and it's flawless because he's taking those Caribbean sounds, and so it's like it's all mixed in. Because when I was in London, you know, that whole soul to soul, that's London. That's that London soul breakbeat, you know, trip hop. You know, they're the originators of grime. So it's just amazing to me. So that's why I liked it. I liked it because he took a market that already has a bubbling area and just applied it to what he's already been doing. So when you look at the history books, it's going to make it seem like he was the founder of this sound when he wasn't. But it's brilliant because he's been the first person to kind of capitalize on that. And that. Yeah, please. It's amazing.
So I agree with the premise and what you're saying, which is why I was very particular and not critiquing the lane this time, because last time, you know, it was kind of him and Kendrick was taking some shots, and I thought Views would be like that hip hop rap album to come and kind of solidify, but when it wasn't, it caught me off guard. So I was critical more of the album content than necessarily the execution. This time I was open to whatever, and now I'm criticizing the execution, not the lane, because I feel like Drake has been wanting to do this for a while. That's what everyone's kind of saying. You know, the last album he kind of dabbled in it, and I felt like if this is where you were going to go in it, go full bore. And I think he did, as far as, like you said, the features and the intent. But Drake is an emotional cat, man. Just like Kanye West. When Kanye West has a lack of emotion in his music, it shows, because you don't have the creativity, the skill to just kind of just dance around on a track. And so when Drake started doing a lot of stuff that's not really personal to him as far as his lyricism, then it gets very lackluster. And I think he focused so much on making the sound and kind of feeling loose and having fun that if his passion, it wasn't executed like so. And that's what I wanted. Like, I wanted him to kind of bring like what he had in what was the second album again? Where he stole all the Weeknd stuff. No, the second album.
Oh yeah. The Weeknd joint. Take Care.
Take Care has so many different
emotions. Loving the crew.
So take that emotion that you had in Take Care and then bring that to this album. Not necessarily the sound, but like you have to have some ties to it.
But the shot is, it's not about it's about the rhythm, my brother. The rhythm. It's about the rhythm. Don't you see me with the sword? This is a rhythm. This is all rhythm. You see my cross color? Listen, it's not about emotion. Check this out. it's like, okay, Drake is trying to Pizza Hut this, okay? If you go to Italy, you go to Rome, right? If you go to Rome, it's so funny. You may say, I love pizza because you love Pizza Hut, or you love even the guy down the street makes great pizza. So when I go to Italy, I know they're the originators of pizza. When I go there, I'm gonna love it. You go to Italy, you go to Venice, for example. You go there, they don't put chicken on their pizza, okay? They don't put extra sauce on their pizza. It's like super bland. So you've become accustomed to the Americanized part so much that you don't even appreciate the original. And I think that's what's gonna happen. I think with Drake, he's trying to make, okay, let me do it my style to make it pop. Because if I go all the way in, if I go too authentic, it's not gonna pop, because all the cats are authentic haven't popped. Like people didn't know who Giggs was until now. Like Giggs has 4 albums in the UK. So if I'm too authentic and I'm too with their slang, people are gonna panic. So let me be Drake and just add water to what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? The UKC's been popping over there for a long time, but don't get it twisted. They want some of this American joint. So he's doing like stuff like Galchester, or when he has Skepta doing a full song. Like he's trying to give you, this is what I'm seeing through my eyes. This is the view. But in order for him to be authentic, he's gonna have to literally go back in time, be born and raised in Jamaica, and come up with cornrows. Like
can I throw one rebuttal at you real quick before you go in?
Yeah, we're 29 years too late. Go ahead.
So what rebuttal is? See, what you just said makes sense, but remember, just like you make a great point about Usher. See, Drake isn't a new artist. He has an established fan base, and he's given us a sound. So don't get mad at me if I expect some of that sound and you just hit me with an album. It wasn't like an introduction. When Kanye came with 808 Heartbreaks, it was a new sound, and he went in. You know, the whole thing, RoboCop, Heartless, amazing. He went in there, but it still had the emotion from the other albums, but it was a new sound. So I can't just put on more life used to getting Drake and then get this whole other sound. And like you said, I'm not familiar with the artist. So now, like, I need a whole history lesson. It's almost like breaking down Lupe Fiasco bars. You got to have a book with you, learning about everything as you listen to it.
And the blindness and the blindness and the blindness and the blindness.
So if you go abandon the bass like that, or what I know you for, I don't mind you switching it up. But I didn't have anything as a fan who was just in this box of an American Drake fan to go off of. So that's all I had to view it off of.
So Drew, I want to hear your thoughts, but I want to get into some of the tracks first because I know Drew mentioned some tracks. So I want to get into some of the tracks that I liked, which is pretty much all of them. I'm looking at my list. I'm like, Jesus. So how many tracks was it? Was it like 20, 2,800 of them?
22.
22. Okay, so out of 22, I like 19. Jesus. Maybe the ones I did. Let's just talk about the ones I didn't like. Jeez. But no, I like the No Smoke. I think No Smoke was like a great fake out. It was like, oh, Drake's gonna rap now. You know what I'm saying? And then by the time you get to Blim, you're like, nope, this is a reggaeton album. This is a Noriega 2004 album.
Absolutely.
Hey, Rockefeller signed it. They signed him off that reggaeton. But some of the major ones that stood out to me were definitely Blim. Blim's like Controller Part 2. My Deba Rhythm, which is like One Dance Part 2. Long Talk, No Long Talk featuring Gigs. Gigs is crazy. For those that I literally just learned about Gigs when I was this time last year. I was living in London. So check out his last album, Landlord, which is fire. He signed to XL Recordings, which is the same label that Adele signed to over there. So that's pretty big. He's like a trap UK artist. That was dope. I love Gal Chester. I love 4422 with Sampha. Sampha is amazing. It's just it's a shame that people are skipping over Sampha's like his work, like his actual albums, and they'll get any burn, but people love his features. It's the weirdest thing. Another song that's gonna be a radio hit is Teenage Fever with the J-Lo sample.
Oh God.
I know. See, once I played that song, I'm like, Drew is literally throwing his phone against the wall, hearing
twice.
Twice. And 40, you know what the crazy thing is? 40 didn't even produce that. That sounds exactly like 40's sound for him for Nothing Was the Same or whatever. The Quentin Miller edition. But my favorite beat is KMT, which I already heard is getting a lot of radio spins over in the UK, featuring Gigs. That beat is like crazy. That's like stop everything you're doing, like stop the club. That's fire to me. I love Lose You. I love Can't Have Everything, featuring produced by Jazzy, Fezzy, and Samson. I love Glow, which Drew hates. Yeah. I'm about to glow. Which is funny because what's the song before Glow? What song is that? Is it Can't Have Everything? Can't Have Everything.
That's the one with the 808 that's super crazy.
Right? Yeah,
Can't Have Everything.
So Drake
a lot of potential.
So Drake is so funny. So Drake in an interview, I think it was some DJ, whatever. Drake be interviewed with mad people. It's like Drake will have a 2-hour interview with DJ such and such. Won't do any radio press. It's the weirdest thing. It'd be like DJ Lollipop.
Low and that's it.
Oh yeah, well, that's Zay Lo. I just Zay Lo. We'd be like somebody else, like DJ Lollipop from Trinidad, and he'd be like, "Hey, I'm doing a 2-hour interview." But he talked about Kanye's rant that the show you guys went to. Well, Kanye was basically dissing Khaled and Kanye, saying Khaled and Drake, saying that they get too much radio spins and they're playing politics.
Just me.
And Drake was like, wow, like on their interview, he was like, yo, I don't even know what's going on with him because like 1 minute we're doing an album together, next minute he's dissing me in front of people, then next minute he wants to send me a record with him and Jay, and then the next thing you know, Jay's not putting his verse on it. So I kind of just want to stay away from that situation, right? Then there's a song called the Can't Have Everything. He's talking about people like trying to give him advice, but you kind of like trying to big homie me or whatever, right? And then the next record after that is a song with Kanye called Glow. And I was like, is that a coincidence? Because before this album dropped, you say you were distancing yourself from him, and literally a song right before Glow, you talk about people trying to give you advice and trying to big dog you, trying to son you, whatever. So that was kind of a coinkydink for a playlist that to play right after that. So Glow is dope. And yeah, I like Fake Love. I've been playing Fake Love for 3 months. I can relate. Let's just say that. I like Drake because Drake to me is like somebody's microphone is real loud. Drake to me is like a fortune teller sometimes. I feel like Drake is telling you about the consequences of success. And as far as people who he looks up to, as far as people who have tried to son him over the years and they're still doing it, I feel like that's what he does. When he talks from these standpoints, I'm like, I can understand it because I'm getting into this lane now where I'm feeling the energy from people. Well, he said a line about people will love when you're making it and hate when you make it. Like he's talking about real stuff that's happening to him and the relationship with his fans in terms of like, I know y'all love me for this, but when I came out, I was never what y'all wanted me to be. Like I was like, my boy Brandon texted me the other day. He was like, yo, what do you think about the album? And I said, it's dope. I feel like people are waiting for Drake to turn into DMX. They're waiting for him to turn into Method Man. It is not going to ever happen. Like, this is what he does. He's trying to be.
Is that me or y'all?
Well, bro,
Regular stuff. Like we're off that because he's not the best in doing that. Number one, and number two, if he does, he's now be put into a situation where he has compared to Kendrick and J. Cole. Now you can't even compare him. If his biggest record comes out to be Blim, how can he compete with Kendrick? How can he compete with J. Cole? So me personally, I appreciate it for what it is. No, he's not authentic like Skepta. He's not gonna be that for them. But he can be that for these new people who have no idea who these other people are. You know what I'm saying?
And to your point, but I was going to say just real quick, and to your point, part of what you're saying is we do like, and that's what I'm talking about, that storytelling and you know, and where he came from and kind of scribing that for us. But when you get into the lazy, y'all, they ain't doing numbers like this. Y'all ain't got the money, and y'all ain't do like he just y'all every other bar telling us like that ain't, you know what I'm saying, as specific as Drake can be when he really on. Go ahead, Drew.
I got a question too. Oh, keep in mind, y'all, in the chat, we're gonna answer your questions. So hold on tight. So I got some heat for y'all. Go ahead, Drew. Go ahead.
It kind of goes back to what we were talking about, what you mentioned earlier, because somebody else in the group I was talking to saying about the authenticity part of it and the watered down version of what we're getting as far as LeVar. Shouts to LeVar. And that was a great point because hope not, never. But
LeVar was that about Drake.
I like me personally. Like, so for instance, like I love like township music, like South African township music, you know, reggae, stuff like that, right? So I want to hear the real thing. Like, why would I want to hear a watered down version of that? You know what I'm saying? Like you were saying before too, like using the food comparison, which is good. Which is good that Drake did it that way, because if people really hurt the real, they might not like it. Like people love Chinese food in America, but they might really like it. They're putting it in China.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And it's the same kind of thing. So I get why Drake, you know, it's going to be a little more watered down, but that's one part of it with me. Is it's watered down. I'd rather just hear the real thing. And then two, when it comes to rap, me traditionally, like, and China, you know, knows this, you know, over the years, I don't like sing-songy rap.
I want my rappers to rap. That's Drew. I want my rappers to rap.
That's, you know what I'm saying? Because if I want to hear Caribbean music, I will listen to people who do it and who are great at it. You know what I'm saying?
Wayne
like,
Wonder's fire.
I don't want to. You know,
shout out to Mario. Y'all see the new Mario video? Mario took the entire Wayne Wonder template, by the way. Shout out to him.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying, and I don't want people to think I'm saying Drake is Nelly or Drake is Ja Rule, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, any artist over the years that people have given, as far as the music was too that mesh, that's something for me I've never been with. At no point I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me. Like I don't like, you can't. There's no way you can try to
mix it up.
Like, yeah, it's just I don't like it.
We tried.
When I started hearing that, like, lose me. And it's not that
you took around to a room like, listen to Nelly. listen to
because I've seen
I'm not saying her. I don't care what y'all do. I'm not saying it.
There's nothing, man. Like I seen somebody posted a tweet that Ebro put out. Ebro, and it was super corny. Well, then anyway, I get an Ebro.
Well, you know, Ebro. I mean, Apple Music. You know, Ebro's gonna cater to that.
Right, but this is the thing. The stigma that people who don't like Drake are trying to be too tough or whatever. Like, it's not about that, because if you like, people listen, like we listen to music. We have different genres of music. You listen to this for this. You listen to that for, you know what I'm saying? And I'm that kind of person where I want to hear people like I don't want to hear my favorite R&B singer trying to be a rapper. Like that's not what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but Drew, let me ask you a question,
like,
Drew.
you know,
but Drew, what is your favorite Drake song? Let's start there. Let's start there. What is your favorite Drake song?
It ain't hard. Get into it.
My favorite Drake song.
Yeah, or either your favorite Drake song or a song that made you like, oh yeah, let me check out some more stuff of him. Let me say like your first song ever you heard, like, oh, okay, this kind of dope.
Wow, that's like 5 albums in.
He's like, well, actually, you know, nothing was the same.
because I'll be honest, because the thing, when the first record when You're the Best came out,
okay,
I didn't like that. I heard it, I was like, this, I don't like this.
Yeah.
So, wow, that's a good question. I mean, like recently, me and the Sean had a conversation. I mentioned on the show before. I really liked the record with him with 2 Chainz that was on Chainz mixtape.
Okay.
Like I like Drake's verse on there.
That could have been the first song you liked from Drake. Like
no, that was the first one. Like what's the
I'll tell you this, it's the first time we've ever heard him glow about Drake. When he heard that song, he came back to the homies like, hey, this verse, like we've never heard him say that. Like
so comeback season, so far gone.
What's the
none of that.
What's the record? What's the song? I'm losing my train of thought as far as the title. What's the song that Puff got mad about? He took Puff beat. Puff. Was mad about it.
I'll admit it. Six God. Is that Six God? No. No, that's not the one. You know what I'm talking about, right? People in the chat, help me out.
You talking about 0 to 100?
What's it? Yeah, 0 to 100, real quick.
Like I love that record is very dope.
Where I might add, he borrowed Ludacris's flow. I might add, and I.
Oh yeah, I forgot him and Luda had that.
Drake.
How do we get Ludacris into the
No. Drake has been taking Ludacris's style since what you call the quick minute. I'm telling you, rolling through the 6 with my all that the voice inflections. Yeah, buddy, it's true.
Can I make a point about Drake's career?
Well, I was getting to a point. I was gonna say was like I was like, because most of the Drake records, most of his big records has been a hybrid. Like there hasn't been a full song where he has either rapped the verse or sung the hook or vice versa. So I'm trying to figure out, because it's like, what is the expectation level of him? Because Drake is a hybrid. That like all the stuff now from people singing rap and all that stuff. Drake really is the forefront behind that. I mean, even with the Kanye stuff, 808s and Heartbreaks, Kanye wasn't trying to rap on that album. He was really trying to sing. He was really trying to take T-Pain's wave and try to ride out to auto-tune that. But whatever. But that's besides the point. but Drake really is the person. I mean, besides, well, it's weird because even though T-Pain to me obviously made auto-tune what it is, and his style is so crazy, he wasn't really concerned with trying to rap and sing every song. He just knew he could rap and he sung at the same time. He was more like an R&B singer who spit some bars every now and again. Drake is a hybrid rapper. So everything he's going to do is going to be a hybrid. It's going to be that. It's just pick what continent he's going to be talking about.
Right, but that's the thing. So then you put like this. So then he puts out like "What a Time to Be Alive."
Right.
I don't like Future. I don't want to hear. So soon as it comes out, me personally, I already have my antennas up. Like, nah, this thing got to be for me, because it seems like whatever Drake does is just me and him. It just doesn't.
You don't like him. You don't like the rhythm. It's about the rhythm. The rhythm.
Oh no.
It's okay. Like, I'm not like, listen. I was drinking a smoothie, a spinach smoothie, listening to the More Life one. I heard the second one. I had to get a kale smoothie. It's a smoothie central. It's okay, Drew. You don't have to like it. There's cats I don't like either, but I don't want us to knock Drake for what he's becoming. It's like it's two things. Either we
I'm not.
Either we don't like the songs or we don't like what he's becoming. It's two different things, because he's just evolving into who he's going to be anyway.
So along those lines, this is what I think. So this was my thought process, and I'm gonna speak to those who do not like the album, right? Because I'm assuming there are a lot of hip hop fans who
the chat. Most of the chat don't like the album.
Yeah. Those of you who have heard views, you know, it's kind of like, oh, okay, and then heard this is like, he's kind of losing me. There are 3 careers that came to mind when I was listening to this and thinking about it earlier. Seriously, no, listen to me. So the first was like Jay-Z, right?
Okay.
And because that's a parallel we make about how hot Drake started. It was hotter than Jay-Z, but the way they're kind of versatile and the way, you know, their rhyme schemes and something like that. And I urge people to remember Drake came out of the gate swinging. His first 3 albums, for those who are Drake fans, were hot. Yeah. Really good projects. And for those of us that like Jay-Z, remember he had the volumes that were kind of up and down. And so remember, like, people start differently. So I don't want everybody to get you down on Drake if you don't like the last 2 albums, because that would still make him, you know, like 3 for 5, which at this point, Jay first 5 albums, he was like 1.5 if you count Dynasty. You know, like, so you don't have to, I mean, there's plenty of career left.
Talk about it.
Plenty of career left, right? And then the second career that comes to mind is Big. And this sounds off base, but this is the important. This is the no.
Be careful, please.
No, listen.
Be careful.
This is the importance of when you talk about Big compared to the other artists who have longer catalogs. We can hear Big and all his talent and just assume every album was going to be great forever. Yeah. So it's fair when I say, look, man, if Nas and Big is close and Nas got a lot more projects that are fire, I always talk about, man, what rapper have I ever seen not fall off? And Big might have been nicer than all of them, and maybe he didn't. But I mean, we've seen artists now, including Drake, come out with 2 or 3 fire albums. Yeah. And then eventually, just whether you get bored or you want to try something new at a different place in your life. Exactly. And then the third one, which is probably identifies the closest, is 50. Because if 50 dies after the massacre, no one would ever think 50 just didn't make a hit album. I mean, 50 was gangbusters for those who follow 50s. And it's like, man, how could he ever make a bad album? But the thing that they have in common is how thin they spread themselves, because 50 also had the G Unit album. He had hits for Banks, hits for Bucks, hit for Buck, for Yayo.
But you can do that. You can do that back then. You can't do that now.
But I think Drake is also thin with the mixtape projects, with stuff he's probably giving to Wayne, to Nicki, people they didn't speak about. So I think it's a very parallel to both of them starting off very hot and then getting cold quickly. For those of us who are hip hop fans, some people that like More Life don't think he's cold, but getting cold quickly because spreading yourself so thin. And so I just want to keep that in mind for those who are going cold on Drake and think that, you know, it's like the greatest in the world have had long careers and have had their lows. And if he took a low for the hip hop fans for an album or 2, there's time for him to come out the gate and make some heat a year or 2 years from now. And then he'd be right back with his Dynasty or Blueprint 2 or whatever album you start liking Jay-Z again.
You know, Deshaun, you make a very good point. But, you know, the thing is, which is, it sucks as being an artist.
He might not go back.
Well, that's the point. But it's like, we put these new cats at such a like for example, Nas is, to me, is the best MC walking, right? But what Nas has done, what Drake has done in his career, would have eclipsed in terms of commercial success and worldwide appeal than Nas, right? So Drake has to literally do 5 cartwheels in the air, jump to the moon, try to touch the stars, to even be compared to somebody like a Nas or a Big or Jay-Z. It's kind of like, it's weird, because if you look at on paper, if you take all emotion, if I was an alien coming to Earth, I had no emotion, I just looked at stats, I would see Drake stats, I would see Jay-Z, I would see Nas, and it wouldn't be just off of music. Drake would be so eclipsed. Drake's stats on paper would eclipse Jay-Z and Nas. I know it's hard to say this, but this is the truth. In an era where there's 8 times more than competition, not talking about like skill wise, I'm talking about just like oversaturation.
The quality, quality of the music.
Right, but this is the problem. I mean, there's a lot of people put out albums. I mean, and they still didn't pop. So I mean, there has to be something about Drake. Everybody was signed to Cash Money. Everybody's been rapping and singing. Everybody's doing a TV show. So it had to be something about Drake. Something about him that made him who he was. It wasn't just by circumstance. Wayne signed 80 people. You know what I'm saying? Like at one point, I think I was signed to Wayne at one point. My album didn't even come out, so I got pushed off. But Drake, for some talent, couldn't even pop, according to Rick Ross, on Cash Money. So it was something about him. So I don't know. I think with Drake, it's always gonna be this discussion of either you. I don't want to say you get it or you don't. That sounds like dismissive. I think either you like where he's going with it or you don't. I don't think necessarily means the song quality is bad. I would dispute that because personally, I like more likes way more than views. I loved it. I really think views. I literally saved out of maybe what 19 songs. I probably saved like 7. With this one, I probably damn near saved most of the album. So I'm getting what he's doing, and he's actually making me like some of these other artists and styles more. Now, I want to hear more. I mean, I was kind of in the grime already, but I want to hear more of the Toronto scene that doesn't involve Drake. I want to hear more of these people. I want to hear more of Wizkid. I want to hear like Sampha. The first time I heard Sampha was on Too Much. You know what I'm saying, with Drake. I think it was an unreleased song from Take Care, something like that. So Drake's right. So the authenticity of it is Drake is not just saying like I'm doing it all by myself. He's actually putting people on the records. He doesn't really have to do that. So that's like, listen, I'm not from there, but check out Wizkid, check out Gigs, check out Skepta, check out all these other people I'm putting on my music. Check them out. Like check what they're doing. And that's what I can appreciate. But nobody's giving Drake props for that. They just say he's taking something, but it says featuring such and such. So he's clearly, him and Skepta just created a label out in the UK where he's not going to be signing artists from them. And probably Gigs is probably going to be a part of that. So it's like, let's give him props. If we're going to give him props from mimicking a culture, let's give him props from bigging up that culture and putting out some of these artists that were getting shine before Drake. Like Jay-Z's not gonna put out Wizkid. Why are we waiting for Nas to do a Skepta track? Like, what are we doing? You know?
And I appreciate him for limiting the amount of Lil Wayne verses he's had recently, man.
Oh my god,
man. I mean, Jesus.
What are we doing with Wayne? Can we fish like? Oh my gosh.
If y'all retired to go, aka Bow Wow, Wayne is done.
I just want some nah. This is Wayne. This is Wayne. I just want some nah. I don't mean no drama. The F stands for mama. Like, who's the bar he said? The oops bars. I saw J-Lo. I saw J-Lo on the tram. Oops, I mean train. Weezy getting brain. It's like it's the same. It's the same thing. This was the Wayne talks about a oops bar. What the F stands for, some girl he did whatever with last night, and then how much Young Money means to him, and maybe a subliminal baby bar, and that's it. And then the rest of it is sneezing and coughing and auto tune. That's a typical Wayne verse.
And a shout out.
Well, it goes back to what Shadows was saying earlier too. Like,
shout out Pusha T.
What Shadows was saying earlier too. Like, you start off so hot like Wayne, and then the climax at Carter 3.
Yeah.
But eventually. Things come back down. You know what I mean? And it does happen to everyone. My thing with Drake is not, like I said, from the very jump, you knew kind of what Drake was. You saw his image, you saw the sound of his music. So I never had a false expectation of what I thought Drake should be. I had no expectation. He's the new guy.
Yeah.
And I was waiting to hear all the buzz that everybody else did. So I didn't have any preconceived, he's going to be the next this. It was just, I'll listen to him. I don't like this. You know what I'm saying? It was really that simple. It's crazy because even on the album, even on this album, it's crazy too. So I'm listening to it, and then so I hear people starting to talk about Glow, and I hear Glow, and I'm like, I don't hear what y'all hear. Like a couple things with Drake. This is the thing. I don't like Drake's production.
What? You like 40? Boy Wonder? 1988? What?
It's boring. It's boring. It's boring. Like, you know what I'm saying? To me, it's boring. Like, and
oh man,
it doesn't. Everybody's moved differently, but his production, like, it doesn't move me. So then, so I'm listening to Glow, and I just like, okay, like this is not what I want. And then so even he has 2 records with Young Thug, and he had one line. Young Thug got one line I thought was funny when he said, speak neat like a nerd. Like when he was doing all that, I think he was talking about earlier, when he was trying to like stack all those little
pattern.
One line in there was kind of funny, but then when you actually understand what he was saying, and the other one, the icy, what's it called, icy views or icy something, whatever.
Ice melts. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm like, it was just, there was, like I said, it was not. There's just. I don't know, man. Like the Drake wave, man, is something I never caught on to. I'm still not on it. And this is the thing I want to kind of address too, because I feel like people who don't like Drake or and not saying he's a mumble rapper or nothing, because he's not. but people who like the younger rappers, that there's this stigma that if you don't like that, you have to like this.
Yeah.
Like you can't like both. Like me personally, like we told you, I cape for Ray Sherman all the time. I think
you
the
do.
Migos album is super. I like the Migos album is super dope to me. There's a bunch of young rappers that are super. I mean, I like A$AP Mob. I love their music. I love
Kendrick Lamar, King Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Lamar.
I think.
K-Dot.
No, I think. I think.
J-Rock.
Wow, J-Rock super dope. Like that whole. Like, there's a bunch of new rappers that are super ill. Like, it's just that you don't. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean like, oh, you want to hear Wu-Tang. That's what they always go. Well,
which we do.
Like, you can listen to Wu-Tang in the club. Me and Shot and my homies, we're going to Vegas next in May. I don't want to hear Ghostface Killer nowhere that whole trip. I don't want to hear none of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear Illmatic and I don't want to hear Illmatic and Tal. I want to hear the Migos. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not like that. People have to get away from that. It's just simple that you just might not like it. It's not about, oh, I miss it. We did grow up.
Oh, well, Drew, I'll give you an example. When we talking about not anybody on this particular show, but shout out to you out there in the chat. When I said something about Usher last year, I said that Young Thug record was not going to work. And they said, no, Walter, you're just old and only like old R&B. I said, no, I like Usher. Like Deshaun made a point. I said, Usher has a fan base, doesn't need to cater to Young Thug's audience. And the single comes out, and the album flops, and it's the worst selling album of his entire career.
He can't flop. It just did less than the others. The first don't flop.
Okay, but it did less than 30,000 the first week. I mean, for a guy who went diamond. I mean, I know sales isn't everything, folks, but Jesus, like you know what he needed? You know what he needed? He needed more rhythm. The rhythm. That's what he needed. Okay, he should have had Drake on a song. All right.
Well, I wasn't gonna reveal this, but I personally burned 1 million copies of Usher's album. So technically, he did 1 million on the first week. Technically.
Okay. Okay. In the chat room, Danny Brown is fire. Y'all sleeping?
Yeah. Who's Danny Brown?
You don't know Danny Brown? Oh my God.
Nah. Maybe I need to lie and say I do. Oh, Danny Brown from Detroit.
It's like I didn't do that. It's like when people ask you, have you seen a movie? You're like, no. You're like, really? You haven't seen that? Really? You really? I'm like, yes. I just told you I haven't seen it. Why you keep asking me? No, Danny Brown. He's from Detroit. He raps like that's his flow. If you heard Detroit versus Everybody. It's Big Sean, Royce, Danny Brown, and then Eminem. They goes a hook. He raps like but his rhymes are dope. He gets rhymes like
Danny Brown, kind of.
You know what I'm talking about, Drew? He rhymes like boy that like people on Sesame Street. Is that the Cookie Monster? It made me Elmo. I don't know, but this is a diss. This is a diss. It's just a tone. But yeah, check out Danny Brown. He's missing like 4 teeth up front. I'm not even joking. His like hair sticking out. But he's one of those lyrical miracle guys. But he has a voice that's but he sounds like a cartoon character almost. Like So yeah. Detroit versus Everybody's up there, but he's dope. I like the rhyme patterns. So somebody said Jesus take the wheel. So people in the chat room, what did you guys think of the rhythms, man? Did you guys like Drake? I'm hearing all this. Y'all debating about Innocent Paak. Innocent Paak was not on Drake's album. Cookie Monster. I'm sorry, not Cookie Monster. I mean Elmo, not Cookie Monster. I don't know if that makes it better.
and then there was there was this whole debate about who carried the tour, was it Drake or Future, or why it sold out and all that. Like, you know, Tyra in there caping. Shout out to Tyra in there caping for Future as always.
Tyra got a Batman versus Superman cape on.
You know, it's funny because
let it go, man.
That's the thing. Like, I can say this because, and I'm not the biggest Drake fan, but
we know.
You know I can still give him his proper. Certain things are undeniable. But one thing that I can tell, I didn't go to the what was it, Summer 16? What it was called, him in the Future.
Yeah,
I didn't go, but I heard a lot about it. And you see, different people came out, stuff like that. And from what I heard from people who did go, that Drake was definitely on another level. Like, it was Drake and Future
Too many hits. It's
But
too many hits.
Drake
Drake
carried
hits.
that tour. Drake was bringing people out. LeBron was coming out for him. Like, people,
Of course. Drake.
Like, Drake is the guy. I can never take you. One thing you can't take people's status what they are, and Drake's status is undeniable. Like,
if they want to get rid of Drake, they should have did it right before Take Care. They should have done it right before Take Care. There was that unknown period between, I want to say, Thank Me Later and Take Care. Remember when that video came out? It's far from over. I know. He was having bad video after bad video. They kind of tried to sabotage it too with that Best Ever Had video, because Kanye directed it and it got panned. The biggest record in the country with the worst video. And so that was the point where if somebody wanted to attack Drake with like ghostwriting or anything, if they saw him as a potential threat, but they didn't see it. They thought like he was gonna just like kill himself, whatever. Like I'm talking about like career-wise. But once Take Care came out, that was it. That was it. It was over. Listen, this was set up from the beginning. His success. Listen, if you talk about Thank Me, I'm not talking about like a secret society setup. I'm talking about just like his path.
Yeah, you got to clarify.
Right, because So Far Gone was like the engine that could, right? Because it did big numbers, but it wasn't an album. So if it failed, nobody would have thought about it. Exactly. But because it did good, it's like the first ever Grammy-nominated mixtape. So that's how they played it. He's been playing off of this is the mixtape, and this is the album, this is the EP, this is the playlist, this is you know. So he's been doing that from the beginning. So Far Gone was engine that could. By the time his debut came, he had Andre 3000, T.I., Swiss Beats, Jay-Z, all on one album. Alicia Keys, signed to Wayne with Nicki. He snuck up on the game. Like, there's no way you can't get rid of him. That's it. He's here. He's here. Yeah. He's gonna have a statue, like the Michael Jackson history statue. He's gonna have a statue somewhere in Brixton, right by the Jamaican spot. He's like a little Drake statue. With his hands.
And the biggest thing about it is, like you said, because the first albums were so hot and so filled with just everything that is hard to pull from that, right? If he was just had like some below average bars, kind of swag his way through, but nah, like you said, he was toe to toe with Jay-Z on Light Up. You know what I'm saying? Like getting it, you know what I'm saying, with T.I., anybody that was hot, you know what I'm saying? He was out there, so he kind of, put a stake in the game, from So Far Gone comeback season. So he came in through the traditional route, and that's what really helps too. Comeback season and So Far Gone being mixtapes helps him, because everybody wants to say he's just this pop guy who just showed up and the fans like, nah, he came in from the underground. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Dilla.
Yeah, and right, he came for real. Like, listen, y'all Google Joe Budden TV. He's hanging out with Joe Budden in Newark. He was rhyming with Fonte. You know what I mean? Like this dude really came. He was with the Backpackers. If you listen to Comeback Season, he was rhyming over those Ninth Wonder beats and with Fonte and all these cats. He was on his stuff. That's what he wanted to be, but it just wasn't. It wasn't popping. Replacement Girl with him and Trey, it just wasn't popping. He was successful and the Best Ever Had. He was doing a singing song thing, and then people liked it. Even was successful. The second biggest song, he had Trey Songz was doing most of the singing. He was trying to fit into this box, but Best I Ever Had just took off. Okay, well, if people love me for that, I've done 100 songs, and this is the only thing that makes me different in the marketplace. Let me exploit that. But then I don't gotta pay for features. I can do performances by myself. I don't need to call Trey Songz to come out to this show. I'm singing the hook. I don't need them. I have the rhythm.
So the first time I ever heard Drake, speaking of which, was on Man of the Year. You ever heard that? When Wayne, I didn't walk in. That was first time years ago. My boy Dot, shout out to Dot, he in the group. We was at spot. He was just playing. I was like, who is this cat? You know what I'm saying? And like Drake was just spitting, and it wasn't even like his wave yet. It was just him spitting with Wayne on the hook. And then, like you said, Successful came, and it was like, okay, now this dude is on to something. By then, So Far Gone was being played all year. But that Man of the Year, I was like, listening, Wayne catches your ear initially. I'm like, who is this young cat on here just kind of spitting?
And don't forget the I wish I could have every girl in the world. That verse made him pop. Like, are y'all in my friends? Let's be honest. He did the whole little Kanye flow, and like, she wants me, cause I got it all. You know what I'm saying? It's like that was crazy. And then what Wayne said, we'll be all right if Drake does every hook. Once he said that bar, that was it. It gave what Wayne said, we'll be good as long as Drake does every hook. and then Drake started doing every hook. That was it. That's all you needed. That was it. Wayne, the blood gangster rapper, biggest rapper ever. He's top 5 all of a sudden, which I was asleep when that happened. Top 5 says that we will be all right if Drake does every hook. There you go. And here we are, 8 years later.
Can I bring up another point though?
Sure, go ahead.
So when Drake came on that, when Drake had on came on that track and it was like bridge over troubled water, ice on my money. Like when he had them flows like that, them ain't coming back, huh? Are those his flows?
They are back. He had 2 songs.
No,
wait a minute.
It wasn't like that.
Hold up, the rhythm. Hold on. Do not disturb. He had some bars like that.
Not just the bars, the sequence, the flow. He was on.
I'm trying.
Let's be like, hey, it was.
Rewind, lose you. Maybe had a couple in there. Maybe the 2 minutes in is a little 8 bar thing. Lord knows.
Like man, like I don't know, man. Like, so was that hit? Okay,
hey man. Okay. Once Ross does a song with Noriega, all right. Then we can ask, okay? Once we hear a Nas and Eminem song together, listen, stranger things have happened, man. I don't know. So let's get into the chat room, man. What are y'all thoughts? Give us some questions you want to ask about Drake, whatever you're feeling. What's going on? Toby is spazzing out right now. Toby. Oh yeah, everybody out there. For those who didn't like Drake's album, More Life, is it better than J. Cole's last album?
Oh God.
I'm just saying.
No, not even close.
Because J. Cole's been down so much, it's like up to him.
You know what's funny? When you asked that question, I remember. I feel like KRS One. Remember when they had the whole?
I am hip hop. I'm going to tell you why I created hip hop. I created hip hop one day. I wrote it. I made it. Me.
They had the Kanye verse 50 battle, right? So it was the what was that? Good Life. What album was that?
Curtis versus Graduation.
Curtis versus Graduation. And somebody asked him coming out somewhere. So what do you think about the Kanye verse 50? He was like, well, Kanye's not even hip hop. What is that? Life. I need that boom bap. 50 got the boom bap, so what's better? So when you said More Life for J. Cole got the boom bap. That's not hip hop.
I think KRS. Ayo featuring Justin Timberlake is the boom bap. You're right.
Flashing lights is ill. What you mean that's not hip hop? KRS
is like, he's like, and I woke up one day and I said hip. And I said, hop, me. You don't understand. I did this. I did that. Shout out to KRS One, though. I want no problem.
I want no problem with him or Chris.
It's
Shout out
funny.
to Chris in the group, man.
It's funny. KRS like really wrote the Bible, read it himself, and then re-edited it. I love KRS though. DJ Roll Time. Shout out to DJ. I've been listening to J. Cole's album over Drake. Cool. Jonathan Parker said J. Cole made the worst album I heard in a long time. Wow.
Wow.
Those are two. Those are too far off like opinions. Like y'all are like the opposites of the earth. A good song is subjective. Okay, Sean. If I went by that, I wouldn't even have a show. Like I was like, okay, it's subjective. It's not debating. It's all subjective. You know. It's all preference. I love the word preference. It's funny. Y'all love to say preference, but y'all don't agree with something. But if everybody like it, it's fire. Like I don't get it. Like, is that a preference? Is fire a preference?
I don't know. It's all convenient.
Let Donald Trump come on TV tomorrow and say Elvis better than Michael Jackson and see if they say preference. Let's let that happen. That's just his preference. That's Donald Trump's preference. We gotta respect it.
I compare this to that. It's like let's say you're eating chicken, right? And it's spicy, right? If it's really too spicy, that's not a preference. It's just spicy. You may either like spicy or you don't like spicy. But if it's spicy, it's not a preference. So that's why this music test you better like kind of pick. Are we talking about an actual thing? Or are we talking about if you liked it or not? It's two different things. Like Drake, just because you don't like Drake, you can't say Drake right now is on top of the game because you don't like him. Like there's a lot of people that's been on top that I didn't like at first. I didn't like Wayne for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And everybody told me he was top 5. And I'm like, literally, we was in college. Deshaun was like, literally, we were in college.
Yeah.
We went into college, and Wayne was kind of bubbling up, had a few songs. By junior year, they were like, he's like top 5. And I'm like, what? did I take a nap? Like with spring? Like when was this decided? Was this a meeting I didn't go to? I didn't get that email that we decided Wayne was top 5 of all time. Like it was mind-boggling to me. And then just when I was gonna catch onto the wave, the Carter 3 came out. I'm sorry, the lollipop, shorty, lollipop. And I was like, this is cool, but I'm not hearing Kick in the Door. I'm not hearing Illmatic. So, but I couldn't deny that my peers thought he was number 1. So I can't, so it is what it is.
And my argument at the time was, I was like, man, you can't be that high when there's a guy parallel with you named T.I., who I think is better in almost every. And even though Wayne was hot, T.I., was Sports Center Pop and everything stopped and had great albums. So like, and then at the time, even if you wanted to say, okay, Wayne had a little more, like at the time, Ludacris was selling 1 million records. So it was just hard for me to ever give Wayne his true status, because I always felt like he was never so far ahead. And I know people at the time was like, well, you got to remember Wayne was killing everything. He had every feature. And I'm like, yeah, he was. But them other dudes, like, it was just really some jockeying going on, kind of like it is now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I didn't get it. But Kanye just popped.
The Game had just done Fit 5 years out the gate with a classic album.
Even Kanye was in a magazine interview. He was like, yeah, I'm the best rapper in the world, other than Wayne. And then somebody asked Jay-Z that, and Jay-Z was like, Kanye was tripping when he said that. I think Kanye's better than Wayne.
A big part of it is Wayne put that in. People talk about putting stuff out in the air.
Wayne, he did.
When Wayne said best rapper alive, she's the best rapper of time, ever since he said that, Wayne kept pushing it, putting it in everybody's head. So you hear so much. He was on everything. He was killing everything too. So when you put all that together, then that consensus kind of even subconsciously just may happen, because Wayne is killing everything and he put it out there that I'm the best.
Yeah, like King of the South, or like exactly. I'm not a rapper, I'm a trapper.
T.I. did the same thing, with the King of the South thing.
Luda did the same thing too. Luda did the same thing.
Yeah.
And people know it.
Wait, hold up. DJ Roll Tide said rappers like Drake are putting hip hop in danger.
Ooh.
Okay, this is what bothers me sometimes. You guys sometimes treat hip hop like it's a little child strapped to a chair. Like there's always been multiple facets of hip hop. Just because Drake is like, and this is I don't know. I get what you're trying to say. You're basically trying to say because Drake is the forefront of hip hop, he dictates where the culture is going. Yeah. But if that was the case, you wouldn't have guys like Crooked I and Royce the 5'9" and Run the Jewels and all these.
But they don't move the meter though, Walter.
But that's the thing. It's like, but does it matter? Like if I like Run the Jewels, I pay for their album, I stream it, I go to see their show. That's my contribution to their lane, and my contribution is going to make sure that they continue to make music. So it doesn't really matter if Drake's selling out the Garden. If I'm going to see Run the Jewels across the street, like they're still going to do a show. Drake's doing a show. They can both exist in the same universe. Me playing Drake doesn't mean I'm not going to play Run the Jewels later. Doesn't mean I'm not going to play Kendrick later, and I'm not going to watch a battle rap on the train or watch a battle. Like I can do all 4 of those things and listen to R&B and play Kirk Franklin and listen to Ray Shimmer or whatever, and I'm good. So like we treat hip hop like it can only have one focus. No, just because all your Instagram friends talk about one thing doesn't mean that that's the only artist making music. Like Kendrick said, y'all missed what Cass was rapping. F that, because if so, Killer Mike will be platinum. Like he was speaking real facts. So, but there's so many people giving you that rap stuff that people don't pay attention to. But so it's like we should big these people up more. But I see more statuses on social media dissing Drake than bigging up people who can rhyme. The same thing with Jasmine Sullivan.
You should have won the album of the year.
Yeah, or the same thing with Jasmine Sullivan doesn't sell 1 million records. Okay, you didn't tweet about Jasmine Sullivan. You would tweet how much you hated Beyonce. Until she got robbed, then everybody loves Beyonce. So it's like people, it's like no music is in danger of anything. The only people that are in danger are the people that you're not supporting. Once you stop supporting artists and they can't feed themselves, it doesn't motivate them to get in the studio and make music. So I would say to keep hip hop alive, support cats who you think are making real hip hop. If you don't think that's straight, that's cool. So then whoever you support, DJ such and such, a new KRS-One album, You know, Corrupt. I'm sure E40 has another project coming out soon.
Three
Support
of them.
three of them. Three of them. I'm Mr. Fad. Like whoever you Lupe got, you know, the Drogus Dragon, you know, something super deep, metaphysical, metamorphosis. Like support that.
And please believe that if hip hop ever gets in a really, really crucial state, the panel you see in front of you got some heat that we will cook up and release before we ever let that happen.
For sure.
We got beats and bars, and we will be out in the neighborhoods near you.
I have
and we will never let that happen.
I've been trying to prep for this BMOC cipher. I have a 16 I've been practicing since last year. I got a color scheme. It's crazy. Like I say like 8 colors in one bar. It's crazy. Like
don't give it away. Don't give it away.
I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna say something. But, wow. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I'm dead serious too.
I know you.
Respect from the underground. Oh yeah, Toby put. Do you think there's another rap artist in the game that can do an album like this? Gigs. I don't know. No. That's the thing. Do I think another rap artist? No. I think Jadakiss. And Jadakiss woke up and said, "I want to make a Caribbean style album." We're not gonna let him. That's the cool thing about Drake is that it's kind of like your personality, right? If you come into, let's say you transfer to schools. You work at school, you know what I'm talking about. You come to school and you're the cool kid who all you're about is about sneakers. People expect you to have the fire sneakers whenever they drop. If you come in as the jock and you expect to be the best football player, they expect you to be the best football player. So if you come in as the bully, they expect you to be the bully. The bully can't be an R&B singer too. It's like you came in as the bully. If you're the R&B sing, coming as the cool kid. So like how you come into the game is how they pigeonhole you. So Drake came to the game as the I can sing and rap. So now he's able to do this. Jadakiss can't do this because he's not talented. They'll put him in the box. Jay-Z's probably like, dang, I wish I could sing a song. I wish I could do a little Caribbean joint, but they're not gonna let me. Like y'all wouldn't let Jay Billy do a Blueprint 3. Y'all wouldn't let him do it.
Yeah, sure wouldn't.
Yeah, we did. Y'all was killing him over that, over ghetto techno.
And you know what's interesting is that the cats that we've been talking about, and look at it like this: the cats that we've been talking about, the cats that we've been talking about, kind of did that. Nobody could do what Kendrick did, but Kendrick.
Exactly.
Drake couldn't have made To Pimp a Butterfly. That was Kendrick's version. True. That's sonically what he wanted. King Kunta was him. You know what I'm saying? Institutionalized was Kendrick. He made his version because that's where his mind goes to that kind of music, that sound, that funk, that kind of thing. That's what happened with Kendrick. Like seriously, and then Drake, this is where he's at. So they didn't come together and collide and just make a whole bunch of beats with Swiss and Pharrell and just kind of go at it bar for bar. They kind of went this way to make what they were passionate about and kind of show you a piece of who they were. And then in the same vein, I think J. Cole did that. We didn't really like the execution of it, but everybody kind of went into their lane. Nobody kind of went head to head and tried to get. You remember back in the day, it was like everybody going to get Timbaland, Dre, and the top producers, and we go all get the top features, and we just go ride and party and BS.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, get a Hype Williams video.
Get a Hype Williams. Shout out to Hype Williams. Bring Hype back.
Hold on, please bring Hype back with the double bar. So the double bar era. Shout out to Drowning in Tears 279. He or she put, I don't know why I put he, sorry, being misogynist. He or she put, you got people like Chance the Rapper being independent and winning Grammys because of his fans. Thank you. After almost 70 episodes, somebody finally listened to what we're saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like people were so stuck on that. Go back to this. Beyonce, Del B to Beyonce, the same evil plot people made Chance the Rapper, best new artist. It's like it's not consistent. Like it's all about the support from the fans. The fans dictate the culture. If you even mention, that means you're getting support. So I think fans got to start supporting people that you like.
To the comment about Drake, being like what's wrong with hip hop or whatever that comment was earlier.
He's just put hip hop in danger, Drew. Yeah, Drake all by himself.
and it goes back to what we were saying before. Like,
Deshaun, why you laughing?
Because Floyd said, well, J. Cole was the only person that can make 4 songs about losing his virginity.
J. Cole had 2 puppies in the room, man. Y'all talking about Drake putting hip hop in danger. Like literally, J. Cole redid Lady in the Tramp. The real life version, the spaghetti and everything. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And y'all saying Drake's putting him up in danger? Go ahead, Drew. Talk to him. I'm done. Go ahead, Drew. Don't get the rhythm. The rhythm.
It's
Jesus
Drake, like you said before, like Drake came in with the mashup. So I don't like, we can't expect. Drake never tried to pull the wool over our eyes at any point. You know what I'm saying? So you can't hold Drake to that standard as he's affecting it. Nah, because he's always been himself, like it or not. He's never tried to flip it and all of a sudden he's this now. Like he's always came in with this, that mashup style. I would put now personally, I would put that more on the lazy artists who aren't that talented that can affect. Yeah, but that's why I think hip hop it's affected when you get the Yachties and the guys like that. And guys, but it's like that laziness, that lack of respect for the older guys, the lack of creativity. It was very ironic. You listen on Drake's album, you listen to the joint with Quavo and Travis Scott, and Travis Scott's talking about like not riding waves, but everything you do sound like somebody else.
Yeah.
Like every Travis Scott record sounds like Migos or something else. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that lack of originality by the younger dude, I think more than anything is what could be.
I play Kanye for Travis Scott though. Travis Scott will make a new jacket, and Kanye will be like, yo, before you put that jacket, let me just wear it to the store real quick. Kanye wears his jacket to the store, everybody sees him, and Kanye's like, this is cool. It gives it back to Travis Scott. And now Travis Scott has the jacket on. People are like, oh, I saw Kanye with that. It's like Kanye kind of like big broed him before he even came out. He sampled music didn't even come out yet. So I gotta blame him.
Because there's nobody else in his lane.
Yeah.
So to me, lack of originality to me is more of an issue than Drake making Caribbean infused music because he's still in his own lane.
I agree.
Like people who are not original, like that, that's a problem.
Yeah, but even Drake's first song, the Kanye one actually, the one on Fake Me Later. What's the one? I better find your love. I better find your heart. He was trying to get there. If you listen to the instrumental, just the beat, he was trying to get to here now.
Yeah, that video wasn't that video set like in right?
Yeah, the hey.
And I just hold on, we're going home. He's been trying to get over to this way. But can I ask you a question from the chat? And I got to make a comment. So Toby, they would get into a little debate. Toby said, the debate is can J. Cole out rap Drake? I said I think it would be closest off the top of my head. But Toby said, well, people are saying when Drake wants to rap. He's like, that's like saying, well, when Jordan wants to play ball, you a rapper rap. On the contrary, Drake would be more like he's an athlete. And if you Deion Sanders, you can decide whether you want to be a baseball player or a football player and be good at both. So think of him as more of an athlete than more of just saying, okay, you started playing football. Like, in college or in high school, I was playing 3 or 4 sports. But who do you guys think, off the top of your head, if you had to lean one way, Drake or Cole?
That's a good point. You know what? That's a good point, Deshaun, because I feel like if J. Cole were to do a feature and Drake would do a feature, I feel like Drake would have more quotables. Yep. I feel like J. Cole is the people. This is the reason why I feel like J. Cole. J. Cole, I don't want to say he does this on purpose. J. Cole is talented. He's definitely one of my top 5 of I guess the new class, at the post 2009 class. Yeah. But his sound probably subconsciously panders to that early 90s style. The beats are down tempo, the samples, the heavy Nas influence. So it reminds people of the nostalgia of what they liked from the early 90s, right? So he's dope. He could even be half his talent. People still like it because it reminds them of that. Drake's style is too new. It's too front page. It's too mainstream. It's too forward culture. So anything that seems too trendy is going to get that backlash. When Jay-Z did Sunshine, Jay-Z's been guilty of this, people, and we know this. The whole when the volume 1, the whole Sunshine and trying to do the whole puffy bad boy style, and it was too trendy, it was too mainstream.
I know what
it got like and so he had to eat right. I know what girls like. He had to take it back to Hard Knock Life with the sample to remind people of the back of their sound to get that back. So I get it. J. Cole, even Kendrick. Kendrick is a hybrid. People don't want to admit it because he's so lyrical, but he finds a way to balance out those I'm gonna make you feel good 90s stuff with some stuff that's gonna push the culture forward. And I think J. Cole's issue has been sometimes it's so nostalgia driven that it can become boring because we heard the best do that style. It reminds me of Nas, but it ain't Nas. You know what I'm saying? So we have a conflict because J. Cole is dope. But if you're trying to put yourself in that arena, you can't beat nostalgia. I don't care how you can rap levitating above the earth. You're not gonna beat Biggie's 2 albums. You're not gonna beat All Eyes on Me. You're not gonna beat Big Daddy Kane. You're not gonna beat these people. So you shouldn't even try. You should be like Drake, grow cornrows, find a rhythm, and do Caribbean music. Because Drake is like even Jay said y'all got me fighting. But even Jay-Z said y'all got me fighting ghosts.
Yeah. So
what do you want me to do? Keep trying to rap and be better than Biggie? Rick Ross has like 20 albums. He's never going to be better than Biggie. So either he's going to start making career. So either he's going to cater to his core fans and like he said, sell 1 million 10 times. Or he's gonna start doing Caribbean music. It's like either you're never gonna beat these guys. So why do we keep setting the bar like Limbo? We're always gonna keep raising the bar. They're never gonna be better than these people. We should stop. It's no point. There's no point.
So my one counter to that is this. Like I would be fully on board with that if every single time Drake didn't touch a mic, he said he was nicest and he was number one. He's not saying let me get in my lane. Like at least J. Cole might go humble and say, who cares who has the crown? None of us have the crown. My brother Brown pride. Like J. Cole, he might play humble. Drake is talking about I used to say I was top 5. Now I say I'm top 2, and I ain't number 2. I'm the 1. I got 1. He just said that this album right here. I heard that earlier today when I was.
After the whole Ghostwriter
he said he was but that's what I was gonna say next though. When you compare Cole and Drake, now he's saying like who can out rap who. The ghostwriting thing comes in because now you're thinking, okay, well you think about your favorite Drake bars. Now you got a question to even write them. You know what I'm saying? So you can't. Then now in the total scheme of Drake, his star power, his ability like to make the Caribbean joints. You can leave all the ghostwriting stuff out, but now we start talking about just rapping like who's better out of Cole. That's where the ghostwriting thing directly comes in. Now, we know you don't write, and for the most part, people think that J. Cole is one of the nicest, in a very long time. So that's where Drake starts getting a little dicey with him.
I mean, Jay Electronica kind of. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, we ain't even doing that. All right, y'all give us a good. Oh, man, I ain't going to listen. Political connects. Give me like 6 good questions, y'all. 6 good questions. Oh, shout out to I was posting a lot of mad new music in the group, man. There's a lot of great new music out here. Like every Friday to me is like Christmas because the new Spotify playlist is fire. They need to sponsor this show. I keep shouting them out. Toby, don't do it. How do we know Cole doesn't have a ghostwriter? Nah, Cole don't got a ghostwriter. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to I'm not gonna speculate that. Cole does not have a ghostwriter. If anything, they're helping him write hooks and stuff. But I mean, somebody who's producing their records and engineering and writing, it's like Cole is authentic. Okay, listen. I'm under the notion that you are innocent as a proven guilty.
You can't put Drake's crimes on J. Cole, like.
Yeah, it's like you're innocent to prove it. Drake was right on his own bars too, up until we found out. You got to question everything else. So I'm not gonna start just throwing out wild accusations. Pun had a ghostwriter. Like I'm not gonna start doing that now. It's like this isn't a witch hunt. Y'all give me some questions. What is a tank? Wally AK. If you don't know what tank is, I'm gonna have to like eject you from the group or eject you from the chat. Next up is JID. JID is dope. I keep getting tagged in JID posts. I don't know why.
Where is that?
What is that? It's an artist that just got signed to Dreamville.
Cool.
Yeah, he's
Oh
dope.
yeah,
People keep tagging me like, I'm like,
you brought him up. You brought him up recently.
no, it's in the chat. Toby was like, next up, JID, because it's Dreamville. It's like, that's one thing too that I love about these boutique labels is that literally you could have the head dude be nice. So that means everybody else has to be nice too. Like Magic Joy gotta be nice. Like Luda or T.I. Like,
we know how that's worked out over the years, right?
Actually has to be fire.
Tell me Oskino and Spark wasn't nasty. Oskino and Spark wasn't nasty. Tell me
That's the one. That's the one exception was Rockefeller. Everything else you look at like Rockefeller was only an exception. Everything else was kind of like you look at the artists underneath like out of him at D12.
Like,
no. It's like I'm not really here for artists.
The non-porter is underrated though. The non-porter is underrated. But all seriousness, it's like everybody doesn't have to be nice, man. But JID is nice. I used to keep tagged at his thing. The new Trey Songz Animal track is fire. Yeah, it's a lot of fire. It's so many artists. I can't even think of the artists right now. It's like mad people like Somo, Trey Songz, listen to some songs out, Kehlani, they, her. Ray Black. It's just so many dope artists right now. It's like it's overwhelming actually.
He's not super new, but he kind of new.
No. I said
Thundercat album.
Okay. Is Drake getting a check for More Life? Of course. Why would you ask this, Toby? Toby!
Can I peel back to the beginning for a second?
Can y'all hear me?
Can you hear me?
Sorry, it was the rhythm. Yeah. The rhythm broke my ear. Yeah. He asked me, is Drake getting a check for More Life? Yeah. Why wouldn't he be?
Can I give an opinion on your intro for a second?
Sure.
Rick Ross.
Oh.
Rick Ross has some talent, but Rick Ross is like empty calories. That's what I call him. That's what I called him the other day. He is, man. That's
what I used to call him.
I took my roof out back to red light.
You know a show that I like? I like Law and Order SVU. It's like him. Like it's this great story built in. It's very dramatic, but you know a couple of things. You know that at the end of every episode they're gonna catch the bad guy. They have 100% close rate, and you know it's always gonna be super dramatic, and none of the characters really. That's how it's like Rick Ross is gonna be so cool. It's gonna be the bars are gonna be great, but we still don't know who the heck Rick Ross is. Now I understand that could just be part of the show. But none of that hits home. Like he ain't even rapping to the population of Miami. He ain't rapping to the people in LA. He ain't rapping to the people in Nova Scotia. Like it's just super empty calories, man.
Shawnee, let me handle this real quick. Go ahead. So one of my biggest issues with Rick Ross is what Shawnee was saying is because if people talk about how nice Ross is.
Yeah.
It's weird. So one example why I never thought he was that nice. It is the one dimensional thing, right? So I can give you two songs that stick out in my head right now that Ross is going to stick to his blueprint. It's going to be some grandiose, lavish, coke dream rap, right? So you listen listen to Devil in a Blue Dress on my Dark Twisted Fantasy, Kanye.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kanye's giving talking about relationships and dynamics to those, and if Ross just comes with some verse that definitely do with nothing Kanye was talking about.
I was out in the bar. I was out in the sky.
You listen.
Listen. But listen. Okay, Drew, have you ever seen a dope shoot 'em up like bang bang gun movie and it didn't have a good plot, but it was so entertaining?
No, but that's the thing. But
it's not on plot though.
Right, that's exactly. It's not so. Okay, so then listen to Accident Murderers on Nas Life.
Oh, the Nas Accident Murderers.
So Nas has a certain thing he's talking about, and then Ross's verse has nothing to do with Nas. Neither one of Nas' verse or the hook.
Ever.
And it's just him talking, and it's like, did you even hear anything that was going on? Like,
Drew. Wayne and Kanye are notorious for never staying on topic. Kanye and Wayne are never on topic.
But Wayne, no, but this is the thing. So what Shawnee was saying about the empty couch is a idea that I always had about Wayne too. It's like you eat a bag of Oreos. Like they're good, but at the end of the day, what's good is like make
amazing.
A Emily was praised, and Emily had nothing to do with anything at all.
But I guess to my point though,
6 for 7 was
we
brilliant.
talk about how Wayne Saint is one of the best rappers of all time. Ross supposed to be one of the illest dudes of this era. You compare them to the other great rappers. So you listen to Jay, you listen to Ice Cube, you listen to Nas, you listen to Pac, you get that meat and potato. It's not empty. It's something that's really going to sustain you, sustaining rap fans for 20 years. And when I listen to Ross, it's like you really can listen to it, and it's going to be the same thing that you heard on God Forgives Me, I Don't, or Port of Miami. It's the same thing. Like Ross is going to give you those same fantasy made up unicorn raps. And it's gonna be the production's gonna be like these trumpets gonna be playing. It's gonna put you in the mood, like Jamie called it luxury rap.
Yeah,
and I get that. You know, he had the one video, he had the Magnificent joint where John Legend, he's at the racetrack with the horses, and he's putting on this whole grandiose kind of image, but there's really nothing underneath it. He's big. His image is bigger than life. The music sounds big, but at the end of the day, it's so shallow.
I mean, but Drew, I want to do a quick counter argument. There are so many artists, like we all come from the same school, right? Because we're relatively the same age. So
shout out to Jason Issue.
So we came in the era where we saw videos for the first time on Rap City, and we watched the freestyles in the basement, and we sat by the radio trying to figure out when the song's gonna come on.
Yeah.
So we came from that era where you had to know, Nas is from Queensbridge and Jay-Z's from Marcy and Tupac and all that kind of stuff. And that I'm not saying it doesn't matter anymore, but it's just so many artists. I don't really even care where some of these guys are from. I just want to like the song. Like Rick Ross talking about trap, right? And I took my roof off like the red. Like his intro literally is like, I'm in the car. My ankle bracelet is beeping. I see the people. Bounce. Right. That intro doesn't make any sense at all. Right. But the beat is hard. So it's like I don't even care to know.
Who does it well though? Pusha T does all crap, but it makes sense. Like he's from Virginia. He got his brother. He's telling stories about.
Yeah, I know about it.
Right, but so for prime time example is you talk about. Let's talk about set it off. Set it off in the movie at the end. They have this gun shootout. Everybody dies. Right.
Yeah.
Right, but now let's say you put that same ending at the end of Hidden Figures. Like Hidden Figures, why is there a shootout? That's Rick Ross verse. Both great endings, but why are people dying now? It's not the same thing. Like I don't want people dying at the end of Hidden Figures. Ross just doing stuff that has nothing to do with the track.
Yeah, it's just like I don't even.
But what I'm saying as far as like how shallow it is, I remember I was reading GQ. Rick Ross had a GQ feature. 2011-ish, maybe something like that, 2012. And it was pretty much the guy who wrote the article was following Ross around in his day-to-day life. And that Rick Ross character, which again is not even him, but somebody else, it's another person. He never leaves that. Right? So when he's always in character of this Rick Ross guy, we know his name is William Roberts based on like Wikipedia or something. But you never know that because he's Rick Ross, he's MC Hammer, he's Tupac, he's who else has he been? He's Big Meech. He's always somebody else. Like it's never like who is this guy? Like it's.
Drew, you're absolutely 100% correct.
And that's why
right. Well, the songs. Listen.
I want a Wing song. Give me a Wing song. Everything else goes away. Give me a Wing stop track. Everything goes away. Because then I know it's real.
Yeah, it's just like at this point. To me, it's just so many artists right now. I don't have the time of my day. Even if these people want to tell me their life story, I wouldn't even have time to hear it. Like I know Kendrick's from Compton, and I appreciate that. And he tells the story one way. But sometimes I want to hear Ross when I'm getting hyped, and sometimes I want to hear somebody else. I think it does go. I think it goes back to preference or whatever. But it's just in terms of just that authenticity. Some people have it, some people don't. You know, so
Yeah, I mean, but
and some of these rappers that we love, I'm not gonna get into, but some of the rappers that we love who have told us a story and has been consistent with a story that has probably helped us in our lives. Some of that stuff they said was also fake, and they weren't the big drug dealer on the corner. They were
right.
So some of these people who we use as examples, we can't even use
That's
as
what
examples.
I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying, though. But I'm not saying that. But I'm not even saying that directly about the whole seal. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about even just staying on topic of what Kanye's talking about. Oh, Devil in a Blue Dress. Like that jazz seems too much. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So Kanye's been on topic like 5 times in 500 songs. Kanye was having a song like, I was at the mall, right? But my wife said, but he's not married though. You know what I'm saying? And it was a heartbreak. He said, you know, I gotta leave before they cut the cake. There wasn't a wedding he attended. Like he's literally making these stories up.
Right, no, but that's fine though. But that's what I'm saying though. Like that's just a song. If we have a song and the song has a topic, like 50 Cent has a song called Smoke all the time. 50 doesn't even
smoke. Right, exactly. High all the time.
But
I love that song too. I love that song.
And but that's just the record though. Like, you know what I'm saying? So man, I know everything, not necessarily like Nas on the message, made a whole story about getting shot and leaving the hospital. We know Nas that never happened. It's just the record. But what I'm saying is it's not even about me Rick Ross to live every single rhyme that he ever wrote. I'm just saying, like, you get on a feature with a record, like you can't even come out of character. Like you're so trapped in this foggy smog of being this Rick Ross character that you can't even leave that for one verse. Like to me, that's what a disconnect is with me. Like, it's just like what are you talking about? Like I said, it's all unicorns and waterfalls. I don't know. It's nothing. It's fugazi. You can't even grasp onto any of it.
Yeah, listen, man. Wally say there's no tank is all right. So we're gonna wrap up. I want y'all to ask me some great questions. This guy Wally AK say he doesn't know who Tank is. What are you talking about? Tank wrote. Okay, Tyra.
Don't let Tyra hear that.
Right. So
she already on it.
She's already on it.
Jimmy Foxx entire project. That's who Tank is.
I want to say Jimmy Foxx. That's hilarious. I want to try. I'm trying to do a screen share really quickly so I can show you guys.
Don't share the wrong screen.
I can't. Hold up real quick. Let's see.
In the interim, this cat Lonzo Ball is crazy. Shout out to UCLA. This cat Lonzo Ball.
Can y'all see what I see?
It says it's presenting, not yet.
See what I see. I guess not. I was trying to do a Google share of a rhythm, but I can't find it. Oh well. But yeah. So yes, Tyra. Yeah, there's no he is. Okay. So again, 5 good questions. So Tyra asked me how I feel about 21 Savage signing the OVO. I mean, you never know. It depends on what deal. I think with people, and that's why I'm going to have a show talking about all this stuff too in the upcoming events of what's going on with this whole channel situation. But everybody's deal is different. So Drake could sign 21 Savage to a single deal. You know, it doesn't have to be the typical, you know, oh, he signed the 4 albums, they're going to throw an OVO chain on him at OVO Fest. It could literally be like, you know, here's a deal to do 3 singles. Let's see how that goes. If those sell well, you may, exactly. You may get an album, you know what I'm saying? Or a mixtape deal. Like, you never know what kind of deal it is. It could be, you know, a partnership with him and Universal or whatever. So, I don't know. 21 Savage is cool. I actually like one of his songs. There's another guy too I like. His name is with Black in it. Kodak Black, actually. There's a song called Too Many Years That I Can't Get Back. That song's hard. I like the song. It's like a random pop guy singing the hook. And the rapper's going super dumb hard. Like, I lived my life. I was in jail. I had bars. And then as soon as his 16 bars is up, the pop guy sings the hook. I loved it. I loved it. It just makes me feel good. I can remember the hook too, so I can sing along. I gave you one song from Kodak Black. Okay, I know it looks crazy, looks weird. I get it, but so be it. 21 Savage already signed to Epic. Yes, Kai 101. I know that. But Epic is also a part of a major label, so you can. So it's almost like a distribution. So he could sign Epic with a partnership with OVO, just like you know, Jay-Z was signed to Rockefeller, but that was under Def Jam, and Def Jam was under, you know, Universal. They had a partnership, or as Dame Dash said, a quarter water. It wasn't a partnership. Kodak Black. Yeah, look it up. Spotify it. What do you want me to do? You like who is Kodak Black? I want me to give you an unsung of Kodak Black. Okay, you guys are on the internet. Look it up. Okay.
This is a real chill with Ray Sherman.
Yeah, I'll give you exactly. I'll give you a tip. His name starts with a K. All right. Pause on the tip. I know this sounds going to get me. What do you guys think about idols become rivals? I think it's cool. I think people are hyping it up because people are thirsty right now for diss tracks. But I liked it. I like Ross's album. I think as a couple I could have done without. I did like the fact of he mentioned something about the Khaled situation. DJ Khaled having issues with Birdman. You know, for those who don't know, Khaled was signed to Terror Squad. And then for a very long time, he started his own label, We the Best, once he kind of got more up in the ranks. And then did distribution deal through Cash Money, but no albums got released. And then that kind of just like fizzled. You know, Khaled's super happy. He said, oh, you know, some things just didn't work out, but we're still all brothers. We're still all We the Best. You know, like Kanye's like.
Didn't the same thing happen at Def Jam too, though?
Yeah, but he released the Ace Hood album through that. With Cash Money, nothing happened. But you know, they do that whole like Kanye. Everybody's get music. Drake got music.
You know the funny thing about the idols versus rivals song I thought was funny? It was the line when Ross was saying trying to use the religion thing. Oh boy. And he's saying like it's the Catholic, but then he said sins in a synagogue, but synagogue is in Catholic. So I thought that was stupid.
Empty calories, baby.
Listen,
man. Stop being fake deep. A synagogue, that's Jewish, man. That's not Catholic.
Ross had a track called Scientology. What do you expect? Yes, on the album, there's a track called Scientology. He has a song called Masons or whatever, you know, Freemason with Jay-Z.
That
was so marketed.
That was the most
him hookah.
Right. That was the most trolling track ever. The people would be like, "Oh, look, Jay-Z's on a Freemason track. Look, here." Freemasonry isn't even the whatever. I didn't need it. Who is Wally? Wally AK said, "Who is Tank?" Wally, who is Google?
Exactly.
Sorry. ASCAP says differently. Tyra. He's clearly trolling you. Why are you? No.
She got time.
Listen, Tyra's like, ASCAP, where my check be? Probably. That thing makes me actually sound a BMI at that time. So I think even that was inaccurate. But you know, PRO publishing, whatever. You know, ASCAP, BMI, CSEC, except during World War II. All right, so y'all have no questions. We're gonna wrap up. You guys are debating 21 Savage and Tank. I don't even know. See, y'all are upset. What y'all need to do to get in a good mood is put on the rhythm. Put it on. Crunk Girl said, what albums are you looking forward to? Playing Drake's album again.
Jay-Z, Nas.
Jay-Z, that's a Biggie duet. Funny enough, Biggie does have a duet album with Faith coming out.
How is that possible?
I shouldn't even be laughing because I'm
the album that I really want to hear is SZA. I'm ready for SZA's album.
Yeah, SZA in the American one, y'all, not the one from the UK. But yeah, SZA album. Yeah, but Biggie does have a duet album coming out. The King and I with Faith. I don't know why I'm laughing, so I'm helping with some behind the scenes part of this. But check that out. Jadakiss got a song up there. Check that album out. It's coming out sometime this month. It's coming out. Did it already come out? 24, maybe 24. Oh, this is all messed up. I don't know, man. It's the rhythm. The rhythm's got me. But yeah, shout out to Faith. Not Danny Boy. I'm on the floor, dear God. Have y'all heard JoJo's album yet? Yeah. It came out like 4 months ago. It's cool. JoJo is dope. Shout out to everybody out there who says that the white singers always get pressed more than the black singers, because JoJo album was fire and nobody's talking about it. So people never bring up JoJo.
Hip hop.
But yeah, people never bring up JoJo in these conspiracies. Like they'll use Adele but they'll never say somebody like JoJo. It's like for every person you think that's beating the system, I can name 5 people who aren't beating the system. Okay. It's like Somo. Somo's incredible. So I learned about him like 2 days ago, and he's like the Caucasian, like I don't know if it's Caucasian or Spanish version of Tank. But of course, Wally doesn't know who that is. So, what else I got? We discussed this last week. When Bieber's coming back out, he's had a Grammy nominated album like last year. Jonathan, you really want a Justin Bieber album that bad? Hey, Deshaun Drew. Jonathan says, when is Bieber's album coming out? He's really excited about the Justin Bieber album. So
in April.
Yeah, I tell you what, Jonathan, sign up for the Justin Bieber fan club, and they'll send you an email package of all of his new events that are coming out and his album. So become a Bieber, and follow him on Twitter too. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram, by the way, and yeah, be a believer. Be a believer.
So he got like 100 million followers or something crazy like that.
Part of the B pack.
Right. What is that? Is John Paul's Patois making a return this year? Man, you know what I really want? I really want a remix to Blim from The More Life, but I want Tory Lanez and Sean Paul. And that's never going to happen. Is Sean Paul? Listen, Sean Paul's not rocking with Drake, and Drake's not rocking with Tory. So I don't think that's ever going to happen. Unfortunately, I would love to see that. Would you guys love to hear that?
No.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
Jonathan said fan clubs aren't my thing. All right. You asked about a guy who has a fan club. Okay. Last question of the night. Oh, I hope. Okay. Where do you guys rank Joey Badass among new school rappers? Apparently high. We get a Joey Badass question like every week.
Because he's dope, man. Joey's dope.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and y'all probably gonna unsubscribe after I say this. I have maybe only heard 5 songs of Joey Badass.
No.
I'm sorry, man. Listen, I've only heard 5 songs of him. But to my credit, I've heard every Voice of 5'9", every Marv 1, every Crooked Eye a song. I have mad bad rapper people I listen to. I can't fit them all in, balls. It's not enough hours in the day. It's not enough hours. I'm sorry. I know Punk Girl. I know Julissa. It's not enough hours in the day. All right. But the 5 songs I heard from Joey Badass were fire. Joey Badass, his last album, I think it was almost like self-titled or before the I liked it and I reviewed it a lot last year when I was trying to get it into my top 5 albums. Because that's when it came out, but it didn't beat out a lot, and I think the thing that's keeping them back is, like there comes a time, and we talked about this, like J. Cole will revert back to like that 90s sound sometimes. Joey, that's his whole sound, but it's still okay to venture out. And I'm not saying he has to do something else, but after a while it doesn't grab you the same because like, oh, it's cool, but it's like, mix it up, you know what I'm saying? Just like J. Cole need to get some other production, shout out to J. Cole. Joey needs to mix it up a little bit with his sounds because he has all the skill. He has a storytelling ability. He switches the flows. I like the style. He's ill, but then after saying, wow, and it's not just because the style is old, because people that do the same new style gets boring. So I think he needs some variation in his music and to do something that'll really grab a different audience and not to, alienate his 17 fans, but just to add to it. 17 million. I knew it was coming. Million. I was waiting for the uppercut. He said Joey's mainstream now.
I'm one of them now. I rock with
That's
Joey.
not what mainstream is, okay?
I love this verse on One Train.
No, listen. Okay, Joey is dope. Joey is dope. My mom knows who Drake is, right? My mom knows even who Kendrick Lamar is. My mom doesn't know who Joey. My mom doesn't know Joey Badass. Like I get that if you're somebody more on the radio, it seems mainstream. Mainstream is like a household name. It's when you know the name of it, even if you don't know the song, you know their name. And nobody like the person next door, unless they go to hip hop, they don't know Joey Badass. He's not mainstream. I don't think he wants to be mainstream. That's the thing. He doesn't want to be. I say, Voice of 5'9" is in my top 10, but he's not mainstream. He made an album with Eminem, still isn't mainstream. Like it's okay. Everybody doesn't have to be it. Like you know what I mean. As long as you pay your bills, you don't have to be. He did $250,000. Yeah, he has a lot of fans. That's not mainstream. Like Joey Badass maybe did like gold in 3 weeks. That's not mainstream. You're not gonna see him on a award show. You're not gonna see him doing break off a Kit Kat bar. You're not gonna see him popping up on Grey's Anatomy. Like that's mainstream. Like he's hosting Saturday Night Live. That's mainstream. Like there's a big difference between selling a lot of records to like for example, Tech Nine from Strange Music.
Yeah.
He sells millions of records. He does big tours. Nobody mainstream like knows who he is.
He's on a Forbes list.
So he's on a Forbes list, but he's still not mainstream. Like Birdman isn't mainstream, and Birdman got more money than all of them. So it's not money. It's not necessarily.
Watch his fake.
I think Ross kind of reached with that a little bit. Ross, some of those boys like he kind of reached just a little bit. Mr. Robot. Okay, Joey was on Mr. Robot. All right. Okay. All right. Is Mr. Robot Grey's Anatomy though? Is it Saturday Night Live? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Was he on How to Get Away with Murder? Okay, right. With Joey Badass is on How to Get Away with Murder. Y'all have a point. I know it's a show. I'm just saying.
So is Childish Gambino mainstream?
Yes. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Emmy.
With the
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, crossover. There it
is. That's different.
Move over wheelchair, Jimmy.
Okay, Crunk Girl. It won a Golden Globe. Was Joey Badass at the Golden Globes? No, he's not mainstream. What are we doing?
Hey, Dave East was on Gabrielle Union.
Oh,
about Mary Jane.
Yeah,
is he mainstream?
I don't know if that show's mainstream.
Hey.
Yeah, listen, I love my Viacom.
That's the album, but that's the album I'm looking forward to too. I'm a big Dave East fan.
I don't know why.
I don't want you to respond to any Joey Badass with though. Don't put any those with it. Don't put though. No, don't do it. Okay, Crunk Girl. If you know he's not mainstream, then stop giving rebuttals.
Hey, back off the Crunk Girl. I got you.
He's not. Yeah, like okay, Childish Gambino wrote, produced, and starred in Atlanta, and they got an Emmy. And he's gonna be like freaking on Star Wars. Like Childish Gambino he's mainstream. Even before
he was in that one movie with The Martian. He was in that.
Yeah, even before that, like he was kind of bubbling, but now he's mainstream on all platforms. He does like stand-up comedy or something.
Yeah.
Mainstream isn't necessarily pop. Yeah, I mean that's a good point. But I mean, Childish Gambino is mainstream music.
Was somebody a couple comments before that said mainstream equals pop? I think they were responding to that person.
Oh yeah, no, that is because there's a lot of like I keep saying there's a lot of pop artists that aren't popping. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of people who are trying to emulate the Katy Perry sound or the Taylor Swift sound that aren't making it anywhere. Like this, like if you actually went into a label, or if you visited a label and see their list of artists. There are like 80 artists just like Justin Bieber, waiting for Justin Bieber to get arrested, waiting for him to like say, I want to just they're in line, right? Like kids from 13 to 25, and these people are the stereotypical pop stars, but they aren't selling records. They're in Germany somewhere trying to get a buzz that once Justin Bieber falls off, they can take the place of it. So it's mad people who do pop sounding stuff exactly. People who do pop sounding records that aren't nowhere. Like they can't even pack a venue. They can't even pack a club. They can't pack a bar.
Our living room.
So Joey's quite popular. Joey is quite popular. Do you only follow mainstream music? Wally, who's that question directed to? But he said, but I would think BMOC would know. Is just as a fan of music. Okay, Wally AK, I'm gonna eat to you for like 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
First of all, Wally AK, it's not N-O, it's K-N-O-W, okay? So I definitely know who he is. I said I've listened to 5 whole songs of him. That means I know who he is. That means I use Google, okay? You don't know who Tank is, all right? You know who Tank is, okay? That's it.
He signed No Edition.
I can't. I'm so mad at Tate for putting out Ralph's album last. That should have came well before my fan. I'm the y'all tripping.
Man, you can review more live. Walter can review more life and reach and talk about all the people internationally that he's heard. He can talk about all the undercover. He posts undercover artists in the group, put you on the Day album and all that.
But I know Joey Back.
You ain't heard Joey Back. It's always a chick in the armor. It don't matter. It's one person you ain't heard. It's always look.
Wait, hold on, wait a minute. So hold up. I went down Drake's discography, broke down gigs in Skepta, talked about Voice of Five Die, talked about Crooked Eye, Run the Jewels,
Mr. Fab, E for everybody.
Mr. Fab, E40. I did a Snoop Dogg reference. I mean, I'm up here singing about Ralph Tresvant, a New Edition, but I've never heard of Joey Badass. Like you guys are tripping. You guys are tripping.
And that makes you not credible. Joey Badass makes you not credible.
And I never said I didn't know who he was. I said I've literally heard 5 whole songs from him. It's different. If I don't include features, a lot of white people don't even know what. Wally. How old are you, Wally? Wally, you have to be like at least 17. Somebody put Justin Bieber sucks. Johnny in Tears put Tank was never super relevant. He never reached the relevancy of Granny circa the aphrodisiac era. Huh? What? Did y'all all listen to Drake's album last night and just have a whole bunch of pina coladas?
See what he does to people?
Y'all are bugging. Listen, y'all need to go. When I come to New York, y'all need to go to 116th Street in Harlem. They got a lot of these. All right, it's an all African street. They got dashikis. They got all that stuff. Get y'all the rhythm. That's the problem. You know what? That's the problem. You need one of these. You need a dashiki or something.
Eat some curry goat.
What we really
some curry goat.
And I know you about to rap. What we really need, man, are more websites that are teaching people about the music business.
We do. And if you want to go to Live the Biz, man, live.biz. We have an event coming out. I'm dropping the details on Tuesday. But I will say that Def Jam, Atlantic Records, and Columbia Records are involved. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Anything else? For those who know, Columbia Records has Adele. They have Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? They got J. Cole. They got a few people up there. You know what I'm saying? Def Jam is enough said. Atlantic Records is like super duper popular right now. So I'm like, but yeah, I'll announce all those details. So follow me on Instagram at Live the Biz. Deshaunus, man, any last words, my brother?
Yeah, man. Thank you everybody. For always tuning in. It's a pleasure. It's great. And I noticed. I don't know if I made this announcement. Donita and Tyra do a really good job monitoring the chat. If you see my head, kind of not paying attention, it's because I'm following the chat on my phone. I want to be interactive, make sure we're engaged. So don't think I'm tuning out what BMOC is saying, even though most of it's just crap. No, but I'm tuning in for that. So keep the live chat popping. We want to make sure we're engaged. Thank you for tuning in. And shout out to, Oregon. They had a big game. UCLA, Lonzo Ball, them boys is crazy. So, Sweet 16 is coming to a town near you. And Sacramento did an excellent job of hosting the NCAA tournament. We back. Golden One Center. We was down there getting it popping. So, much love to everybody.
Sacktown, the Bay Area, and back down. Hey,
wait a minute. Don't play. Like, I'm serious. And when you from Sacramento, anytime your name is mentioned, anytime the city mentioned this song, it's major, man. Like, and them hit records, it's crazy. You hear that played 100 times around the city, you mention the name of the song. It's crazy.
Fire. Tupac shouted it out in the biggest song ever. And he did something that Petey Pablo didn't do. Petey Pablo did a North Carolina song and never shouted out Charlotte in that entire song. Petey Pablo. Yeah, Petey Pablo, how do you make North Carolina, but you don't say Charlotte one time on that song, like at all? Like, I don't get it. Whatever.
Yeah, that's awkward.
True. Any last words, man? Really awkward. The remix either.
Another great show. Like I said, somebody as big as Drake comes out, we have to dedicate the whole show to him because that's what people want. That's what his he's earned that status. So hopefully we start to spark the conversation and keep it rocking. BMOC. Follow me on Twitter, Bricks is King, and we lit.
Follow Drew's Twitter be popping. Yo, John in Tears, who are you? You just gave a perfect hashtag to Live the Biz. I don't know who you are. I may give you a free ticket for that dope hashtag. Somebody put Chris Brown's mixtape's coming out next week. Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna have a lot of hits and punches on that one. So
we need to edit it.
Yeah, listen. All I'm gonna be doing is in my car kicking it to Chris Brown's new album. So it's scratching and clawing. Not making fun of the best balance. I'm making more fun of Chris Brown. Wally put you got lost in the discussion we were having on this chat. Wally, okay. Only Wally I know is Wally West. who's the Flash. Tupac. When is Tupac's when is Tupac's biopic coming out? I think like in June or something like that. Tyra said Danita can have this job. I quit chat moderating.
It's hard out here.
No,
it's hard.
Tyra, you could have told me this yesterday. not the chat. Oh, heck no. Okay, I'll tell you what. Y'all want to do this for real? Y'all do this for real? You call me. Okay.
It ain't easy. It ain't easy.
Okay, Wally, that was a Drew Hill reference. You're not going to know that, so just YouTube that later. All right. Well, that's it. Tyra said Drew's a ghost tonight. What? That's not Drew. That's not Drew all night. Pause. He said he got the power. Drew said Drew was on his Quentin Miller tonight. Here goes Wally. Wally said, if you're going to be dismissive to me, at least know what I'm talking about in the chat. So damn annoying. Yo, Wally. Yo, fan.
Somebody cut the camera.
I know, Wally, man, you don't have a lot of rhythms, man. That's the problem. You must not have heard that new Drake out. So, Wally, I'm going to let you slide for the day. You're probably some of those weird people who just troll us. Johnny Tears says, not Quentin Miller. Johnny Tears, who are you? Johnny in Tears, who are you? Chris Brown is busy with Carrot Cake. Okay, whatever. All right, we're wrapping up. All right, thank you guys so much. Subscribe to youtube.com/BMOCTV. Check out all the music we're talking about. We'll be back next Sunday for the best diss tracks. Unless somebody's, unless a fire album comes out, let's like Jay-Z's album comes out next week, we're probably gonna be talking about the diss tracks. So I want you guys to really do your research, look up some of your favorite joints from Common and Common and and The Bridge Is Over and KRS-One and the originator of hip hop, the only originator of hip hop. Jay-Z, all that. So check out some dope diss tracks. And that's it. I'm BMOC. Peace.